Hey guys, it's Viv. How's it going? Welcome back. So, in today's video, we are going to be finding out how toxic you are, okay? This video isn't meant to be taken seriously at all. This is just a fun, lighthearted roasting, okay? So, if you guys are not really into those types of videos, then I'd recommend clicking off right now. But on the other hand, if you if you are into that kind of thing and are just here for a laugh, then by all means keep watching, okay? So now that we have that out of the way, if you guys are new to pick a card readings, here's the basic rundown. We have 4 piles here, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So feel free to choose your pile based on the crystal or just the pile itself. It really doesn't matter. Just choose whichever pile you feel resonates the most with you, okay? So yeah, thank you very much. And we'll start with group 1. Hey group 1, welcome to your guys' reading. If you chose this pile or this crystal, this one's for you guys. Let's find out how toxic you really are. Alright, okay, group 1. So we're going to get into your tarot cards first, and then as we get further into the reading, we'll bring in some oracle cards to get more info, okay? So we have the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, you guys are pretty toxic, okay? I just want to start off by saying that the 5 of Wands energy is a really combative, kind of even argumentative kind of energy here. It's kind of also a petty vibe too, okay? So I think that you guys are a little shady even, okay? Or at least that's how you come off to others. People, you can be really toxic in the way that you kind of demean other people, or you just come after them or argue with them for no reason, and they're like, where did that come from? That came out of nowhere, and you're literally arguing with me over something really petty or really stupid, okay? There's definitely a petty type of energy in this reading so far, which is making me think that you guys, a lot of your toxicity is kind of unnecessary or uncalled for, okay? And you're definitely a stressful energy to deal with for certain people in particular. You're definitely you definitely add some weight onto their shoulders, okay? You kind of weigh people down with your toxicity, okay? Because there's a lot of air and fire energy in this reading thus far, I'm thinking you're probably a fire sign or an air sign, of course, or you just have a lot of that kind of energy. But you guys are really fast-paced and kind of reckless, okay? With this Knight of Swords card, you guys get in other people's way. You guys are oftentimes an obstacle, or people kind of that's what they make you out to be, okay? At least when they're thinking about you, how toxic you are, okay? You're just you're someone who's just difficult to deal with at times, all right? But with the 7 of Swords card, this is a really shady, even treacherous card. It oftentimes does deal with betrayal or kind of treason. This is a treasonous card, okay? Maybe some of you guys have some Gemini or just some strong air that can be really sharp, really piercing to certain people. You get on their nerves with certain remarks or comments that are uncalled for, or just out of nowhere. You can just criticize someone or be or just snap, you know what I mean? And you guys can be pretty insulting. I don't think that you guys have a lot of staying power, which can get on people's nerves when you don't finish projects, or you're not consistent in following through with certain things that you like set out to do, okay? I feel like oftentimes a lot of people have to like clean up your mess or just kind of like take extra time to like fill in the gaps, or they just feel like they need to like tidy up after you, okay? There's definitely like a reckless, messy energy here. Some people might feel like you just aren't like considerate of their feelings. There is kind of like this bluntness and like insensitivity, okay? Sometimes you guys can make certain comments or act in a certain way that can be pretty just insensitive, okay? That's really what I'm seeing. You guys are really toxic in a really kind of careless, insensitive manner a lot of the time, okay? I'm seeing that this often happens in like a group setting, you know, more often than like one-on-one. I feel like you guys are more toxic when you're like with a group of people and you feel like you need to keep up or that you need to kind of like stay ahead of the game, okay? You guys are definitely a bit competitive. Maybe some of you guys are even athletic and like, you know, into sports, but there is definitely this fiery feel with this reading so far, okay? So let's take a look at your oracle cards to get some more info, okay? All right, okay, so we have the wishbone. It says affirmation. I feel like this is usually a pretty lucky card, but let's get some more info, okay? So we also have fortune cookie. It says fortuitous. Okay, yeah, both of these cards are pretty lucky. I feel like you're able to get away with a lot of things. I think that people feel the need to clean up your messes a lot of the time, or it's just like you're able to avoid getting out of like having to do that yourself, okay? Because you have a pretty lucky stride going on here. You guys are able to avoid certain situations that would really bite you in the butt, you know what I mean? And I think you've been able to get away with that for a while, and people are kind of looking at you thinking like, man, this person is so toxic. They're just like, certain people are definitely waiting for the time that all this karma or this streak of good luck is gonna like run out, okay? That karma is gonna catch up with you, group one. But you guys can be pretty mean, okay? And it's not like in a cruel way, but it's more just like uncalled for or like out of the blue. People are just like, wait, but I thought like I didn't do anything to you. Like, why are you saying this to me type thing, okay? And it's more just that you guys are really just critical and really even anal sometimes to certain people who are really slow, who don't have that same drive, that same momentum that you do, okay? You guys can be pretty toxic to people who are like slow moving and more mellow, I feel like. Because you guys definitely are pretty outgoing, pretty extroverted, and just have like this lucky streak. I think when it comes to like your actions, you guys are able to get away with a lot because either like you come off well, like some of you guys might make a really good first impression, or people are able to excuse your actions or your comments because you do something else that kind of makes up for it. Maybe you guys are really hardworking and take on a lot of burdens. Maybe some of you guys are managers out there and just have to deal with a lot of stress and a lot of situations where people are just coming at you all the time. So as a result, you guys just are used to that and kind of approach and kind of use that mentality in all of your situations in your daily life, and sometimes take it out on people who don't deserve it or people who you don't need to do that to, okay? But I feel like you guys are pretty pretty stressful to be around, okay? Even though you guys are, I feel like this pile is usually pretty like charismatic or has like a really extroverted personality, you guys can definitely be a bit like bipolar or have like this manic energy, okay, when it comes to either like getting stuff done or just like keeping up with this fast stride, okay, like keeping up with the times and always kind of coming through on top, okay? You guys definitely have like a competitive streak that can be annoying to certain people, okay? But you guys are really lucky, and I think that enables you guys to like get away with a lot. You guys are able to do certain things that other people would never get away with, okay? And that often goes for like these, you know, these like shady or like kind of lying like remarks. You guys make certain comments or just do certain things that are really sly and really shady, okay? Maybe some of you guys are expert liars, you know what I mean? Or have like something going on where you feel like you can get away with it, okay? This pile is like that. I feel like you guys get away with a lot and just take out the stress or this like 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands energy on people who just don't always deserve it, you know what I mean? Or it's just like uncalled for. I feel like also with this wishbone card, maybe sometimes, or with certain people, again, you just like snap or like you break, you know, and they're like, and you might just, and it could just be that you had like a really bad day, or you are like going through something and they have no idea, but it's like, it's just that they have no idea, and it's, to them it seems really erratic, or it seems like it came from nowhere, okay? When actuality, you guys are probably dealing with a lot. You guys probably do take on a lot of work and have a lot on your plate, okay? So I feel like you guys just have a really stressful kind of mental energy that's really kind of erratic in a way, or at least it comes off that way to other people. But you guys are pretty toxic. Like out of 10, I would rate this pile a strong 7, okay? So yeah, that's really what I'm seeing for you guys, so I will leave it at that. The rest is kind of like up to interpretation for you guys. I hope you guys like this reading. I hope it made sense. If you did like it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you're at. Stay awesome, stay toxic, and I will see you guys later. Hey group 2, welcome to your guys' reading. If you chose this pile or this crystal, this one's for you guys. Let's find out just how toxic you guys really are. Alright, okay, group 2. So we're going to start off with your tarot cards, and then as we get further into the reading, we'll take a look at your oracle cards to get more info, okay? So to start off, we have the 2 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, as well as the Devil. Okay, you guys are insanely toxic, okay? I just want to say that off the bat. You guys, at least to certain people, you can be really toxic, okay? You have a really like dominant, like contagious personality, and sometimes that can suppress or like overshadow other people's personalities, and they feel like they kind of, or they feel kind of anxious around you, and they feel like they need to like dim themselves down a bit, you know what I mean? Just so the attention can be on you. Or it could be that you guys are just really controlling and just like domineering to where people feel like they can't really be themselves around you, okay? You're someone who's really draining, okay? And I'm really thinking like you're emotionally and mentally draining to people. You guys are high achievers. You guys are pretty freaking successful, okay? So I feel like that kind of leads you to have a really, like, not like entitled mentality, but you guys are really, you guys feel like you're really deserving, you know what I mean? Like that you deserve a certain level of respect and like special treatment from others, okay? And certain people are really annoyed by that and just like will leave you. Or, you know, I feel like certain people kind of ghost you or kind of just leave you as a result of that. Like certain people are just not going to put up with that. But I feel like you guys attract really like empathetic people or sensitive people who are willing to take on that energy and just be like a sponge for you, okay? And with the Devil card, this is really like a limiting card. This card is kind of all about restrictions and things that like chain ourselves up, okay? So like limiting beliefs or habits, or just like this is kind of the card of like things that just aren't working that you need to free yourself from, okay? So I feel like you have that energy to certain people, okay? Not to everyone, obviously, but I feel like there are a handful of people who just really, this devil energy just takes over and then they go into flight mode and just like avoid you, you know? Like I feel like certain people go out of their way to avoid you. And it's not even like your personality. It's not that you're a mean person or anything. It's just like at certain times, you can just be really restrictive, okay? Or just draining. So it's more just like people might feel really tired and pooped out after they hang out with you. And as a result, maybe they make excuses like in the future to like not hang out with you, you know what I mean? Or kind of avoid you. And yeah. But you guys are the types of people who don't really need friends because you have your work. You guys are really successful and don't really care about what people think about you. So that is definitely like a good thing. But just make sure that you don't turn into someone who is just really like dictatorial kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? Like keep your friends close, the friends that you do have, and take everything with a grain of salt, if you know what I mean, okay? So if people are trying to talk to you about this, you know what I mean, how you are someone who is really like dominant or like draining, be open if people are trying to address this and like give you constructive criticism, because at the end of the day, they're trying to look out for you. They want the best for you, and they do ultimately want you to succeed, okay? Well, you are already really successful, but people know that you have a lot of potential, and this toxicity is really only like a surface level thing, you know? It's not like you're a bad person or like you're mean or anything. It's more just like you put that on as kind of like a defense to weed out the people who aren't like as loyal to you. So be careful about doing that, because certain people will just write you off as being an asshole, just plain and straight. But yeah, I think you guys should just be more open to constructive criticism and other people's advice, because you seem to be the one who is kind of always in that position, in that more authoritative role of giving advice to other people, because on paper you may be someone who's really successful, you know, who checks all the boxes of being someone who is really successful, so therefore you feel like people should be asking you for advice, you know what I mean? It could be that type of situation for the most part, but overall I just feel like whatever your situation is, you guys should just be more open to taking constructive criticism. I mean, obviously if people are just coming for you, I mean, whatever, but yeah, just try to be more open and not as like rigid, okay? So let's get into your oracle cards to get more info on this, okay? So we have, ooh, okay, so we have lots. It says chance. This card is kind of, in a way, this is a card that kind of does deal with, like fate. This is kind of a karmic card, although it does deal with like luck, though, usually, and like having chance on your side. But yeah, let's look more into this. And then we have, okay, we have palmistry. It says interpretation. Okay, this is really interesting. I feel like certain people don't know quite like how to interpret you, because you do ghost certain people, okay? I feel like as much as people avoid you or ghost you, I feel like you also do that to people. You definitely push certain people away. Maybe people have been toxic to you in the past, you know, and you're trying to get away from that, but you can't help but kind of play that situation out in your own life, you know, with certain friends of yours, okay? But I feel like certain people, I feel like for the most part, people are kind of unclear or unsure of how best to like interpret you, because they don't know if you're just a toxic person or if it's just like your personality, you know, like who you are. They don't know basically if it's like a surface level thing or if it's like on a deeper level, you are just this devil energy, you know what I mean? So I think, again, you should just be more open and clear to people on where you stand in relationships and like what you want out of relationships, okay? Because you are someone that has dealt with like many obstacles, and you are really critical on yourself. You put high expectations on yourself, and you obviously expect that in return, in relationships, right? Especially. So just be more clear and like more open to communicating with people, okay? And with what they have to say and like where they're coming from, okay? Because I feel like most of the time people just misinterpret you and then like you guys have like missed out on like possibly like great friendships just because of that. And it's not even you, it's just like how people interpret you to be or kind of write you off to be. So prove them wrong, okay? Prove that you're not someone who's like this stone cold, like high achieving devil energy, okay? Prove that you are open and you are someone who is capable of like understanding and offering support, okay? I feel like people don't really know how to approach you, or they just avoid you, you know what I mean? So just be like cognizant of that, and obviously like if they're avoiding you, it's partly on their end. Maybe they have a problem with you that goes beyond how they interpret you to be, okay? But either way, at the end of the day, this is about you guys, and I feel like what would really help you is just honestly like better communication, okay? I feel like most of the time it just gets lost in translation because you guys are unsure of how people perceive you, okay? You guys can do better in terms of understanding how you are seen by other people, you know, and just like getting to know yourself better, all right? And of course, leaving behind some old habits along the way, okay? So that's really what I'm seeing for you guys right now. So I will leave it at that. Hopefully this reading made sense and it resonated. If you guys liked it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. That would really help me out. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you're at. Stay awesome, stay toxic, and I will see you guys later. Hey group 3, welcome to your guys' reading. If you chose this Labradorite crystal, kudos to you. I really love this crystal, this pile. I have some strong hopes for, okay? So let's get into this. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out just how toxic you guys really are. All right, okay, group 3. So let's start off with your tarot cards, and then as we get further into the reading, we're going to bring in some oracle cards to get more info. Okay, so to start off, we have Judgment, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Cups, as well as the Page of Wands. Okay, so you guys might be judgy, a little judgy. Maybe some of you guys have a bit of a god complex. I feel like people feel like they need to bow down to you. You kind of have a heavy energy, okay? You guys are always, I feel like there's always something up with your guys' like mood. Like I feel like people feel like they need to like tiptoe around you and your mood, okay? Because the Five of Cups here is kind of about feeling like down and out. It's a bit of a more like lethargic energy that deals with loss and regret. So I feel like there's always something going on with like your mood or how you're feeling, or people feel like the day, or you know, just how good the day is going to be kind of revolves around your mood, okay? I feel like you guys have a bit of a like stuck up kind of energy, okay? With the Seven of Pentacles here, you guys can be like really slow, okay? You guys are obviously really patient and stuff like that, because this card is all about like waiting for the right time for these pentacles to be ripe, you know what I mean? So you guys are obviously really patient and stuff, and you guys do deserve a lot of the credit, you know, that you think you deserve, obviously, but I think sometimes you might take it like to the extreme, okay? Where you guys feel like people should be grateful or like thankful for the things that you do, or like people should look up to you, okay? That can be a bit annoying and definitely toxic on certain people who are just trying to have a good time and who feel like they need to cater to your mood to have a good time, all right? With the Page of Wands energy, or like card rather, I feel like you guys are really curious. You guys are great learners, okay? You guys are obviously like really intelligent and even adventurous a little bit, okay? I feel like you guys are the type of person though in a friend group, you know, or like a friend group setting, right? That is kind of like calls the shots, okay? You guys are always calling the shots and roping people into like hanging out with you or spending time with you or going on adventures or like whatnot with you, okay? You guys like participating. You guys are a team player, okay? But I feel like there's something kind of like annoying about that to certain people, or it's just like you guys demand a lot of attention and energy, which can definitely be draining on people, okay? You guys are toxic in that regard, all right? I don't feel like you guys are necessarily like mean or anything like that, but I do think that you guys like kind of make other people feel like they need to act this way, like around you, okay? Like people feel like they need to be really patient with you and kind of baby you a little bit, okay? And again, I think this has something to do with like your moods. Maybe you guys have like some drastic mood swings going on, or maybe some of you guys are dealing with like a lot of things in your life right now that kind of put you on edge and obviously contribute like to your stress level, okay? And other people in your life see that and feel like they need to kind of give you like a free pass because of it, you know? Or kind of, you know, approach you with caution or just extra carefulness, okay? So let's just get more info. Let's take a look at your oracle cards, shall we? All right. Okay, so we have dreams. It says incubation. All right. Okay. And then we also have Ouija board, caution. Ooh, okay, yeah, that's what I've been saying to begin with. Like people feel like they need to approach you with caution, or kind of, you know, or if people feel like they need to just tread extra carefully like around you or approach you with caution, all right? I feel like you guys are really stressful to people, okay? I feel like you're the type of person who could like tell your friend to do something like a task, and like you guys would be like a reminder, okay? You guys are always reminding people to do stuff, or to do like certain tasks and stuff. And I feel like with this dreams card, people are thinking about that, or if they're not thinking about you directly, they're thinking about what you told them to do, and it kind of weighs down on their mind heavily, like in their subconscious mind as they go throughout the day. It will still weigh them down, like, oh yeah, I need to do that, or like, oh yeah, I need to text so and so saying that I did it, or like, that kind of feel. Okay, it could also be the type of thing where you'll send someone like a message at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're like annoyed with that. They're like, that's not like the right time, or you know what I mean? I feel like with this card, it's a non-stop kind of cycle of like infiltrating their mind or their subconscious. Okay, I feel like people definitely like are stressed out, okay, with your energy. And yeah, it just has a lot to do with this kind of heaviness, okay, that you put on your words, or that you put high expectations on people, to just do things, okay? I feel like you guys are pretty demanding people, all right? That's what I'm trying to say. I think people do give you a free pass a lot of the time because of the work and the strain that you are like put under. You guys are obviously like workaholics, and I think that people give you a free pass because of that. Like, you could treat someone awfully, right? Like horribly, but they would be like, oh yeah, well they just had a rough day, or like, oh well, they've been working really hard at such and such, so I'll give them a free pass type of thing, okay? People will always give you a free pass because they know that you do work really hard and you are high achievers, okay? You guys do have like a lot of things that you're passionate about, that you are pursuing, and like you guys aren't mean or anything usually. It's more just like you guys have a really heavy, like stressful energy. When you walk into the room, it's okay, we need to quit what we're doing and pay extra attention to so and so. You know what I mean? So I would say, all in all, this pile pretty toxic, okay? Like, out of 10, I would give this pile a 9, to be frank, okay? You guys are really toxic. And I think it's you guys don't even realize that you're doing it. It's more just like you guys have this really heavy, like weighing down energy when you text people, or like you remind people to do things or what they have to do, or you give them advice which may or may not be like uncalled for. I think you're someone who has trouble lightening up, or you guys have trouble being like lighthearted and bubbly. I think you guys just, again, with this 5 of Cups card, have trouble getting into like a lighter mood, or it could be the type of thing where you guys will come home from work and just need to have a glass of wine to help cool you down. Maybe if you guys channeled this energy into other outlets, maybe like not drinking, but like maybe like going to the gym after you work out and then going home to your family, maybe you'd get out a lot of that like stress and that strain in a certain outlet, and then by the time you get home to your family, you would be able to give them this more Page of Wands, carefree kind of energy, okay? That would be a suggestion that I do have for you guys, but you guys are definitely pretty toxic, okay? So that's pretty much all I have to say for this group. This pile is really fun. I hope it resonated. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a big thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I do appreciate all of that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you're at. Stay toxic. I will see you guys later. Hey group 4, welcome to your guys' reading. If you chose this pile or this crystal, welcome, this one's for you guys. Let's find out just how toxic you really are. All right, okay, group 4. So let's start off with your tarot cards, and then as we get further into the reading, we'll bring in some oracle cards to get more info, okay? Okay, so to start off, we have the Four of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the World, as well as the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, you guys have 2 aces, not 1, 2 aces. So you guys are really fortunate people, okay? I feel like you guys are really lucky. You guys are blessed. You have this energy in your reading, which is all about like abundance and opportunity, okay? The aces are all about opportunity and like new beginnings as well, okay? So with this World card, I feel like you guys are really cultured. Maybe some of you guys have traveled a lot, you know, traveled the world, like made a lot of connections around the globe, and are very cultured and very open-minded people, okay? Here's the thing though, I feel like some of you guys have a complex about that, about like being like really like a know-it-all, or being just really worldly, you know what I mean? Being really worldly and having like traveled so much, okay? Or just having like met a lot of people, or maybe you guys are really smart and have like read a lot of books. You guys are obviously really wise and very intelligent, okay? And you guys are a big package. You guys have a lot of different skill sets and a lot of different facets to your personality. You guys are really interesting people. However, I think you guys can definitely be harsh or like a bit cruel at times. I think this pile is toxic in the way that it kind of makes people feel like less than. For instance, I feel like you guys honestly do feel like superior, okay? So not that that's bad, I mean, necessarily. I mean, if you guys are really confident, that's great. But I feel like you can make other people feel like little, or make other people feel dumb. Maybe that makes you feel smart about yourself, like making other people feel stupid. I'm just seeing that you guys have like a kind of God complex. You guys feel really smart and really powerful, and obviously with this Ace of Swords, you guys don't really need to do much work to get ahead in life. You guys are really lucky and blessed, and I feel like that's part of it. Like, you guys kind of take that resentment out on other people who might have had to work harder and who haven't really just had like the luck that you have, okay? Even if you are smarter, okay? I mean, that doesn't really mean anything if you're like a shitty person. But I don't feel like you guys are mean necessarily. Like, it's not that you guys are mean, but you guys are really toxic in the way that you come off, okay? You come off as being someone who is kind of full of it, okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie, this pile has everything going for it. And there's so much abundance here. I feel like you guys have no reason to be toxic or to be shady, to throw shade at other people. But I feel like you do it because you can, okay? And that's kind of messed up. Like, okay, I feel like there's something kind of messed up about that with this pile. Like, not gonna lie. I love you guys. You know this is just lighthearted fun. But I feel like sometimes you guys can take it too far, okay? With, like, belittling other people for not getting your reference, your, like, smart, cultured reference that you make, or other people who just aren't on the same level as you, okay? You guys obviously, like, you are really intelligent and you do deserve praise and attention and respect, but only as long as you can, like, treat other people that way, okay? And if they don't get it, they don't get it. That's fine, but I feel like there's certain times when you might need to, like, humble yourself, group 4, okay? I feel like some of you guys might be doctors or have jobs where there is a lot of responsibility and like strain and like pure stress like put on you, you guys are able to handle a lot. You guys are really resilient. But I'm really seeing that a lot of you guys are like doctors or like work in an area or a field where there's a lot of respect and responsibility that comes with it, okay, as well as prestige and money to be made. But there's a lot of responsibility. I feel like with these hands, you know, and these ace cards, like your hands, you guys heal. You do a lot, like you work with your hands and you have a lot of power there, okay? Like surgeons can easily, you know, like take a life as they would help heal it, okay? So I feel like you guys have a lot of power, you know what I mean? And are able to use it for good, but I feel like you guys can be really toxic. Okay, this is kind of weird. I feel like you guys are really toxic, but I feel like you guys are more toxic to yourself, if that makes sense. I feel like with you guys, it's more of like an internalized thing because we have the Four of Swords right here, which is all about obviously like sleep and rest, but I feel like this is a more kind of internal card and more introspective. So I feel like you guys, like a lot of this energy, a lot of this stress and toxicity is just you doing it to yourself, if that makes sense. I feel like you guys put a lot of stress on yourself to be dominant and to be this world's card, to be really high and mighty, you know, when you don't really need to do that. You guys already are really respected and really like loved, okay? You guys are really likable. But I feel like the toxicity that you put on yourself sometimes like rubs off on other people. That's really what I'm seeing, okay? Let's take a deeper look at this with some oracle cards, okay? So we have perception. It says runes, perception. Interesting. Okay. And then we also have feathers. It says message. Ooh. Okay. So, yeah. I think with this perception card, I think all of this is caught up in the way that like you perceive yourself or like your self-image, okay? I think you guys might have some self-image issues, or you just put a lot of like high expectations on yourself to meet this high criteria of yours, okay? For good and for bad, okay? Because you guys are able to be really successful because of that, but also at the same time, I feel like you guys are being really toxic to yourself, okay? I feel like you guys do have some self-destructive tendencies or habits that you use to cope. You know, maybe some of you guys have struggled with like smoking or alcohol, or have reverted to like more self-destructive habits to help you cope, if that makes sense. Because with this Ace of Swords and this Four of Swords energy, there's a lot of like pain and responsibility that comes with this energy in terms of being really powerful and clear-headed enough and concise to use it, okay? You guys are really precise. Again, that's why I feel like a lot of you guys are in careers that kind of involve a high level of precision and responsibility, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes you let that get to you, or it gets the better of you, you know what I mean? And you take it out on yourself when you don't do as well. Or when you are doing really well, you could also take that out on other people in terms of expecting like special treatment for the work that you do put in, okay? So I feel like this pile needs to lighten up a bit. I feel like that's why we have this feathers card here, because you guys, I feel like you guys let a lot of things get to you and a lot of things kind of weigh you down at certain times, and you could really use some lightness, okay? And just like upliftment. I feel like you guys kind of do this to yourself. That's the thing, though. I feel like you guys can be pretty toxic to yourselves, or it's like internal. It's like the way that you talk to yourself or what you tell yourself when you're in stressful situations can be really damaging and like toxic, okay? And have harmful effects if you noticed in the past that you've had to look to other methods or outlets of coping, you know, whether they're healthy or unhealthy. Maybe some of you guys, as I said earlier, might have had a drug addiction, or it could be the opposite. Maybe some of you guys did have an outlet that was healthy, like fitness, or like taking it out in a sport, maybe like boxing. I'm just seeing that you guys have a lot of things that are working for you. Like the universe is like working in your favor a lot of the time. So I feel like you have no reason to be like toxic or hard on yourself or hard on others for that matter, okay? Because maybe like a lot of this energy that you let get to you comes back to bite you in the butt from other people who are like, no, you need to not be so stuck up and realize that all this energy and good fortune that you have going on doesn't mean that you need to be an asshole to like hold on to it, you know? Or it doesn't mean that you guys need to be uptight all the time and hard on yourselves and other people out of guilt or resentment, okay? You guys are a lot better than you let on to be, I feel like, for most people, okay? You guys can do a lot better than this, okay? I feel like this pile is mainly just destructive and toxic to itself, which is kind of sad to see, but I am seeing that, so obviously I need to say that and just tell you guys that you don't need to do that you guys, with some rest and good habits, like good self-care habits, you guys can overcome this toxicity, okay? And also just not let it out on other people as much, okay? Because I feel like definitely you push people away when you do that, okay? Okay, I think for toxicity though, like out of 10, this pile would probably be like an 8, okay? This is like a solid 8 for toxicity, okay? So just be conscious of that. Like if you are doing things to yourself that are toxic or to other people, it's not even necessarily your fault that you're doing them. It's more just has to do with the way that you're conditioned and the way that you kind of deal with it on a more internal level, like what you tell yourself. You guys need to break out of these habits and cycles where you place like too much strain on yourself and feel like you basically put like unrealistic expectations on yourself, okay? Group 4. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say for this pile. So I will leave it at that. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it resonated. If you did like it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later.